Louisiana. And today, you guys, I am here with Miss Avis Brown. She is a life coach here in the Baton Rouge area, owner of Victory Unlimited. And I wanted to bring Miss Avis on here today, you guys, to discuss self-care. Because I know right now a lot of us are at home and just mentally not in the right place. And, physically not in the right place. I haven't combed my hair probably in about 2 weeks. And I know a lot of people think that self-care is being like out, being able to go get your nails done or going to the hairdresser and different things like that. But there are a lot of different aspects of self-care. So I brought Miss Avis on here because she does specialize in that. So I just wanted to turn this live on today so that she can give you guys some self-care tips in this time and help you guys to move through what we're going through right now. So Miss Avis, it is your stage.
All right. Thank you so much, Joe Knows BR. I'm just happy to be here. And as a clinical social worker of over 25 years, I've been working with adults and children in a lot of ways to where when you're in the helping field, you're giving out and you're doing so much that I noticed that from a lot of my colleagues who I respect to the utmost, they were actually doing exceptional in their jobs, helping a lot of people, but we're experiencing a lot of just fatigue and stress burnout because they're on the front line of dealing with so much crisis. And that's when, for me, I started thinking about self-care and how important it truly is for people that are actually in the helping profession. But then in 2016, when I had to deal with my own life tragedy, when I lost my son, I realized that I was not myself doing enough for myself to take care of myself. And I was given the opportunity from him actually weeks before he died to see myself through his eyes. And he actually said to me, "Mom, you do so much for everybody else. When you gonna start doing some things for yourself?" And that was literally like weeks before he passed. And I had to really come to terms with some things as I had to pull myself together through the grieving process. And I realized that self-care is great when we can go out and do those things you mentioned, but self-care starts with really our self-love, our ability to set healthy limits and boundaries around ourselves, and how we practice affirmations towards ourselves. We're great at being the hype, as me being a clinician, we hype everyone else up. But it was during that time that I learned that I needed to really focus on myself, because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
I had to learn to keep my lantern full in order to effectively serve others from a place of my overflow so that I could, be healthy. And so it was with those things, the affirmations, the self-love, and actually practicing gratitude, looking for goodness and being the goodness that I wanted to see around me.
Right, right. So I know, like I was saying, a lot of us, we think when we hear self-care, a lot of people think I hear a lot of women say it, we use that phrase a lot, but I also think that self-care is for men as well. And like I said, self-care is not only, being able to get your hair done or go to the spa. I know I've talked to you a lot. You have been very helpful with a lot of things that have been going on in my life. So just like, can you elaborate on what are some things that people can do self-care wise now while we're quarantined? Like, what are some things that you would suggest that we do while we're going through this?
Well, what I think is very important is that we take this opportunity to really dig within ourselves and find that place, a content place within ourselves, to where we're satisfied and we're comfortable with being ourselves and being alone. A lot of times we use so many other people to fulfill things outside of ourselves. Right. So self-love starts with self-care starts with that loving ourselves, the good, the bad, the ugly, acknowledging our strengths, celebrating our strengths, but being honest about our weaknesses, and then doing some things to change that. And I'm glad you mentioned about the men too. And with because self-care is for everyone, and there are so many demands, and especially now, we're in some really uncharted waters of how to figure things out financially, things, family demands, and a lot of people are just uncomfortable. One of the best things we could do, that you can do, is start your day. Give yourself 30 minutes when you just get up in the morning. We're always rush, 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 rush.
Yes.
But when we give our body, our mind, an opportunity to kind of catch up and kind of set the course for our day and talk to our day, when we get up and we say, okay, like today is Thursday, and I got up and I said, hey, Thursday, it's going to be a good day Thursday. I intentionally opened the blinds. I looked out at the day and I said, I looked at the clouds, and those are the things. We can't control a lot of things, but right now we have the things that we do have. We have our senses. Let's use those things. Let's use our sight. Let's try to take in things like the beauty of the day. Let's take in, like, I used to have a sinus problem all the time. And whenever I could smell, I celebrated that. Well, guess y'all, let's celebrate that we can smell something really good. And, if it's some cinnamon boiling, or, the smell of lavender, anything that's going to slow us down, slow our mind down. So when we get up and we talk to ourselves and we tell ourselves what kind of day we're going to have, and as much as you can, self-love is deflecting the negative that tries to come your way. How can you do that? By filling yourself up on some good stuff before you even encounter that.
Exactly. Right. I agree. Staying prayed up. I mean, I know for me, prayers, that helps a lot. I get up every morning and I, like you said, I write my affirmations in my journal. I write, things in my journal as well.
Yes.
And I think it's more so about choosing, just kind of choosing. You have the choice. Like you have the choice you have the choice. It's really that simple. Like you have the choice. You can choose happiness. You can choose sadness.
You can.
Guilty. Some days I choose the sadness. I'm not gonna lie. And I think
it's okay.
We're human. It's okay.
We're human. We're not robots. But the thing of it is, it's a choice about whether you're gonna. We have to mourn. We have to grieve. But at some point, we realize that if you want to sit in that, just how far can you actually go? Give yourself permission to do that. That is completely healthy, because if you don't, your body, your body will start responding if you just don't acknowledge the emotions of things. Everything's not going to always be happy, but also, even when those times come, another thing, part of journaling is absolutely one of the best things you can do. And if you're going to journal, try to do it regularly, so that you're not always catching a negative emotion, but you're also catching a lot of, you're catching some patterns and cycles in your life. And then you can use that same journal to go back to help remind you. And that can be a memorial. Say, well, you know what? I made it through that.
Right.
I'm going to be able to make it through this. So you're keeping a record. You're keeping a record of your success. The reason I'm here today is because, hey, I made it through what happened back there. So I can challenges that come my way. And it's about, really, if there's no cheerleader around, if there's nobody, you have to be your hype. You have to be your hype person. Your village is important too. Your village, try to surround yourself with people that are like mind. Self-love, try to weed out as much negative as possible. This is a prime time to do that. You can even go through your phone and get rid of some useless apps, or, if you're a big fan of social media like I am, start paying attention to some of the information that's coming from people you're following. If it's not the things that are lifting you up, or that's sharpening you up, or encouraging you, or forcing you to be the great that's in you, then that's the time to maybe, let that person go.
Exactly. So I know, just like I said, in talking with you, and just getting to know you, you have been very encouraging for me every day, talking to you and just getting different things from you has been very helpful. And I know we mentioned journaling. Like I said, I journal. I have like 3 journals sitting on my desk, and I do go back and I look through them. And I know I was talking to you the other day, and you were talking about you were actually making a planner / type journal. And I just wanted you to, for people who may not journal and they just really don't know how to do that, like explain to us the journal that you have created, like how you came about creating an actual journal / planner, like how that even came about.
Well, let me tell you, I love planners. I have used planners since I was in high school. I used them to like write down the dates, the movies I went to, what we ate, or if I had a test as I got older, I put my bills down. And because I love planners and my friends know I love planners, I would get them as a gift. Somebody would try to see who would, be the first one to get me a great, beautiful planner. Well, as I started this self-care journey, let me just explain that through the tragedy that I experienced in 2016, really God inspired me and showed me that the way I was able to not go cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, he actually gave me a framework that I call the Silver Lining Self-Care Treatment Plan, which is an acronym for 8 strategies to avoid stress burnout. It started with me creating that framework. And then, you know what? I love planners. I'm going to create my own planner, taking bits and pieces of my favorite things from all the planners that I've used over the years. And the thing that I absolutely love about this planner is that it's full of affirmations, it's full of my favorite quotes, and there's actually a self-care tracker. And it's more than just about going. I realized as a therapist, and I have a practice and I see clients and all, and I was looking at my planner and I have how many clients I see this day. I needed to make sure I'm in my planner. I'm
Right.
on my calendar. I'm on my schedule. And if I'm not on my schedule enough, I'm not going to be any good for anyone else. So
Right.
I created this planner to make sure that I'm carving out that time for self-care. And it's not just about the nails, and those are in there. And I get regular massages. I cannot wait till I can, we're able to do those things. But it's actually about doing things like when I wake up at 5 o'clock, and that's my prayer time. And when I pray and I might read my devotions, and I put those things in there. Something that I used to make my children do, and they used to like be very like, Mom, you're just such a social worker. When they would come home every day, I would make them tell me 3 good things that happened in the day. And that was a social worker in me, but it was actually training their mind. It was training their mind to just be prepared. Okay, she's going to ask me about something. So I got to report out. So they're going to go through their day to know. So what's in my planner is there's a gratitude log for you to jot down those 3 things so that you're training your mind to look for the good. You're training your mind to stop to smell the roses. And there's a 30-day challenge that involves just random acts of kindness, things like that, that's actually training us to practice self-love, gratitude, and affirmations.
Okay. All right.
So
So
I hope I explained that. Did I explain it?
I think you explained that very well. I mean,
Okay.
so it's you like your planner like is almost like a guide. Is a guide to show you like if you haven't been doing these things already, you maybe need some help with putting those things in place. That planner is going to guide you down the track you need to go to actually create those habits.
Yes, that's exactly what it does. Oh, and I forgot the name to say the name. It's called Ignite.
Okay.
The Sassy Self-Care Planner Journal.
Okay.
It's sassy because I was sassy growing up, and I was made to think of a bad thing, but I branded sassy, and so sassy is a good thing, and and it's a black book. It's actually this, and what it is it's an opportunity for the ladies to have our own little black book, but it's our little black book for self-care.
Exactly. So how can people get the planner?
They can find my Curator Care store by going to victoryunlimitedglobal.com.
Okay. And when we get done with this, I'll make sure to share all of Miss Avis's information. You guys definitely should follow her on Instagram at Coach Curator. Her Facebook page as well. She does inspirational videos weekly. So I would definitely follow her and check out the things that she, the content that she's putting out, because it's very positive. You have anything else you wanted to throw in?
I just want to thank you. You have been just a continuous blessing to me and my husband. I just want to thank you, and I appreciate you so much. And thank you for having me and letting me share.
Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna probably get off of here and call you anyway, but, but take the time to do this for me. And y'all, like I said, just make sure you go and follow Miss Avis on Instagram. She's Coach Curator, and you can also follow me at Joe Knows BR. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. Y'all have a great day. Bye bye.
All right.